Live. There we go. Live indeed. How's everyone doing? Miguel Rodriguez here for the Bakersfield Gentlemen on this fine, weird weathered Monday in November. Getting close to the end of the year. 7 weeks left. 7. Not 8, but certainly not 6. And then we have what? Not wait, is it next week? No, next week isn't Thanksgiving.
Week after, I believe.
Week after, something like that. Either way, creeping up pretty quickly. All of this is happening so fast. I'm pretty sure it's going to be St. Patrick's Day soon.
Mm-hmm.
That's how quickly the whole year is gone, and that's how quickly next year might just be here, which is even better for us because then we got our top 10 list to talk about, or top 25, depending on how we're feeling about it, how squirrely we are. We obviously want to hear your guys' idea on that kind of stuff, and we want to celebrate another good year of cigars across the board. You know, new companies popping up, new blends, new blenders trying it out for the first time.
Oh, this Perfect Cutter's a liar, man. Look what it did to my cigar.
Did not perfectly cut it.
Nope.
Mine also had the same. So the cap came off along with the little extra tobacco there. These are tiny little fratellos, by the way, guys. Eduardo, how you doing? This is basically a cigarello.
Mm-hmm. I use a Perfect Cutter. It's going to be fine, and it took off the cap, but it also cracked the side, and now it's unraveling, guys. So
you have a bad unravel.
That sucks.
Mine is okay. It's just the little cap and I don't know what do you call that? The cap and
shoulder.
I guess the shoulder.
Using toes.
Whatever you want to call it, that little extra tobacco that keeps the cap to the wrapper, tight, came off, but absolutely no problem to the wrapper itself. So that's good. It must have been user error on Frankie's part. He just
it can't be. You use a Perfect Cutter. It's all on the Perfect Cut.
So, you didn't perfectly cut it.
This is on the fault of the cutter. It did not perform as it was supposed to. Therefore, I will not be blamed for the mishap. Richard, how you doing?
That's crazy because we're perfect over here. Damn, that's nice. Ooh, we've had these for a minute. That is all wrapper right there. That is the Maduro wonderfulness.
I feel like I gotta sneeze again.
Sorry. I'm gonna take over for a second and let you do that. Chocolatey and coffee notes right off the bat.
Oh, geez.
It's like getting into it's like getting into a fresh container of chocolate covered coffee beans. I didn't really know it was a thing until our buddy Joe. You've all seen Joe. You guys know Joe. You like Joe. She's cool. Made some with the toffee. She did chocolate toffee and bacon beans.
Mm-hmm.
Friggin' phenomenal. If you guys can coax her into making you some, do so. Very much worth it. Peter, how you doing? Oh, Richard, I'll hit you up about that. That's on. Yeah, that's on me. I'll get a hold of you. But they are. It's all wrapper because of how small this ring gauge is, as you guys can see right there. That is what a 25 or 26, 28. But I'm also getting like a pinpoint hole. You can see it right there. Oh, sorry, I'm right next to the mic. Right there, towards the almost perfect middle of my cigar.
Mm-hmm.
Very weird, but not affecting flavor.
So, as Miguel said, you guys, sorry, I don't know what's going on with my nose right now. We want to talk about building our top lists. Now, the first time we did it, we had one list of 10. Then we started doing our own lists. But we do want to do one list that's, finite for us as far as top cigars go for the year. Of course, we want your guys' input on it. If there are any cigars that you think should be on the list, make sure you let us know as soon as you can so we can get them tested and see where they would rank among what we think the top cigars that we've tried this year are. Now, again, remember, these are the top cigars that we've tried. If there's another cigar that maybe aficionado or snob or Hafio or Cigar Prop or whoever, Boston Jimmy, whoever puts out a list and say, oh, this is the best cigar of the year. We haven't had it. We can't put it on the list, guys. So make sure it's a cigar we've had or we can get a hold of. Consistency of how often we've smoked it because we've liked it goes into effect.
Very much.
How it hits our flavor profile will definitely affect where we rank it. We do try to do only one per cigar brand. We don't try to do more than one. So keep that in mind as well. But yeah, so there's
Okay.
construction obviously will play a part in it as well.
La Colina Kill Bill. There you go. Already a good suggestion right off the bat. Richard's question here, hitting hard, getting to the meat of the debate, really. Honestly, what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, right? How do you rate them better? Okay. How do you pick um, seeing Sir Elton John his first time performing at the Viper Room or his last performance over at Dodger Stadium? You know, how do you do
Peter, that is a great cigar. As a matter of fact, I had a couple in the humidor, and I was pulling cigars out for just to have a cigar. I think we were just here hanging out.
Yeah.
And Jeremy comes in and he's looking at my humidor. He likes to see what we've got, what he's got, and he's like, "Oh, what's this?" And I was like, "Oh, that's the Cryptid." And I was like, "Sure." And I was like, "Where's it from?" Because I spaced on it, the Big Sky. I was like, "Oh, that's right, that's right." And so he's like, "Oh, I've never had that before. How is it?" I was like, "It's fantastic." True story. They came up to us at one of the after parties for a PCA or a TPA. I forget which one. I think it was a PCA. And they said, "Hey guys,
Open it.
try this and let us know what you think." And I don't think anybody else had it before.
Oh my god.
And
Unbelievable.
from the moment I saw that band with that dragon head on it, till the first cut and first light, I fell in love with that cigar. I think it's a fantastic cigar. I have no doubt that it'll probably make the list this year on our top 25 list.
I feel that. I definitely feel that. And there's obviously Artisan del Tobacco, the El Pulpo.
Artisan del Tobacco does have an upper hand. They've already won a Cigar of the Year award with their Viva La Vida. So last year we did have the El Pulpo on the list. This year I'm gonna smoke them both again and see which one's gonna go on the list this year. But the original or its predecessor or its follow up to see.
Yeah. What do you call it? First of all, Richard, how you doing? Checking in from the future. Excellent. Had a couple of long ash cigars over the weekend. Excellent stuff. Have you ever ranked Blackened? No, it hasn't gone on the list yet. I don't believe so.
No, usually it falls to Liga. That goes on the list. It's usually a Liga 9 or
It's a hard
the
choice
52.
because the legal line, the Herrera Celine line, for me, I very much like the Sun Grown. Oh my gosh, there's a lot in the Drew Estates category, the portfolio that makes it more difficult to just pick one cigar out of all of those different lineups. And the Blackened, I don't think is even in any of the lineups. It's on its own,
Mm-hmm.
so that's even more difficult. But that might be where the situation where maybe one or two cigars from that company make it versus just one. Whereas I don't know, what did we do last year? I think it was the Rare Pink that got on there for
Fuente, yeah.
The new size. That was very nice. But I think that one cigar, being their portfolio being not similar to themselves, but very traditional, it's easier to pick one cigar from the Fuente lineup or say the Rocky Patel lineup because they're always coming out with something new. And there's a lot of new from them. So it's easy to just kind of go with that latest and greatest versus checking out the entirety of the portfolio, at least for those few companies that are in fact so big that you could make a whole list just theirs.
Mm-hmm. Eduardo, I'm going to ask you, which one is that? I've got, I think, 3 of the sizes, but I don't know them by the name. I just know them by the size. I think I'll have to pull the ones I have out and send you a picture. But if you can remember what size that is, let me know what size it is. I'm better with that than
The names.
The names, yeah.
Yeah, there's so many cigars out there with so many different names for the different Vitolas. It drives me crazy sometimes because what would be a good representation? Oh gosh, the CAO America has different names for the sizes versus the CAO Brazil or Colombia. The different countries, and they're all the same idea, not the same blend, not the same any of that stuff, but they all are the same CAO country lineup.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, damn it, that would be so much easier to name the same thing as far as sizes go, at least. I digress.
I'm gonna have to go with hold on, Eduardo or Lorenzo. How you doing, man? Good to see you. Honestly, Richard, this may rub people the wrong way, but I grew up on Slim Jims, so I'm a Slim Jim guy. Nothing wrong with Jack Links. I like the commercials, but I grew up with Macho Man and I grew up with Slim Jim, so I'm going to stick true to those.
It's fair, very fair. 6x58 or 48.
Okay. I'll have to check the ones that I have. I think 2 in there. I have 1 more in a bag at the house. When I say bag, I mean Belvita bag, guys. I don't think it's just like a regular plastic bag, but Belvita bag. Yeah, a lot of bag.
Got from Sears, whatever, when they were still open.
Yeah.
No.
So definitely, guys, make sure you guys mention any cigars you think we should try if we can get a hold before we start making our list. But we're gonna have it done probably by the end of this month, beginning of next month, so we can actually get it in order, finalized order. So the cigars that are gonna go on our list will be finalized by the end of this month, beginning of next month, and then it goes to following up, putting them in the right order. So just keep that in mind, guys.
Yeah, and don't worry if it sounds outlandish to you, or if it sounds like it'd be outlandish to anyone else. If you like it, throw it in the ringer. It might pan out. There's no reason to not put the word out there. It's a good cigar. It's a good cigar.
Yeah. And again, also, like Eduardo did here, to mention a specific size. If you think a certain size smokes better than another size, let us know. When it comes to the Viva La Vida, my number 1 go-to is a Jester. I think that's the best size that they make in it. Lancero is a close second. So just keep that in mind as well.
New cigar fridge, too many. Yeah, I get that. You get it. Yeah, sometimes the upgrade is necessary, very necessary. But I'm on the opposite end of Frankie here. I don't really care if that one size. Obviously, mention it, but it's very rare. I'm going to pick one size that's better than all the others. The Lancero usually gets a little bit more love from me because that's my preference. But if it's a good blend, it's a good blend, and it should be good across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they all should smoke exactly the same. I think Viva La Vida makes a good point of that, where each one of them has its own experience, and they should be because they're different handled products. Be like expecting, I don't know, a wine that hasn't breathed to one that has to taste exactly the same. And if I was more equipped to know wine, I would be able to explain why they don't, but I can't. But I do feel that just because there are slight differences as far as variances, size go and time, construction quality might go down if it's a harder size to roll. I still feel that the entirety of that lineup, of that one cigar, each of its vitolas, each of its SKUs, whatever you want to call it, should be good. So I won't usually myself pick a size versus the other ones. Like when we went to the Sacred Arts, that was different because each of those were different.
Right.
Even though they are all the Sacred Art line, the Salvador Dali was different than the Rembrandt.
And it took me a long time to understand that when we were ordering those guys too.
Yeah,
it was really funny. I thought every one was a different blend. So I was like, okay, well, give me all Steven and Robusto and Toro. He's like, no, it doesn't work like that. This one is this size. This one's that size. Okay, well, whatever. Just give them all to me in the 3 runs that I want. And he's like, no, that's not it. It took me a while to understand.
Each individual blends, one individual size, sit.
As far as the Ripper goes, I don't think that's been on our list. When Jay London's been on our list, it's been the Pyramide.
That was
so yeah, the Ripper, it has a good chance of being on the list this year. Do have a few more, I think.
Maybe.
So I'll have to check the stash. But Jay London has been on the list before.
Part 4, Part 2. Part 2 is the Lonsdale. Actually, I do like that size a lot too. That's
a good size. That's a fun size.
The list. These are all a lot of newer cigars on there. But as we mentioned, like the T52 has made its appearance quite a few times.
Serie V Milanio.
Serie V Milanio. But it doesn't always have to be brand spanking new when it comes to the market. This is the year, so it's got to get mentioned. But a lot of them do because a lot of them are very great and they deserve the attention they're getting right when they're new. Because sometimes once it starts sitting on the shelf, it's going to sit there for a while. You don't want to forget about them. Just because it's been 6-9 months since the release doesn't mean it's old yet. Like let's say like the Liga 9 or the T52. Those are definitely older cigars now. I mean, shoot, Saka was making the 9 when he was still with Drew Estate. But since he has all of his new stuff coming out right now, doesn't make the new 9 any worse or any better. Because a lot of people tell me all the time, man, I wish you could try the the Liga 9 when it was being blended back in the day. It was way better. I don't have anything to compare it to. I don't have anything to compare the baton to from J.C. Newman.
Even 100 years ago.
Yeah, when they brought that back. It could have been the best thing ever, but I don't have that. I got the one we have now. And I think they're both phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Not the same exact level, not the same reason. I think they're both great, but I do still like them.
Mm-hmm.
So the age of the cigar, too, as far as was it released this year or not, obviously that kind of gets more attention. I think that's how our lists have tend to go.
Yeah.
But that's not the only thing we look at. So just a heads up, a little something to think about.
No, that's a really good point. There could be cigars that we haven't even tried yet that are older.
Yeah.
That are just sitting on shelves and okay, well, we pick it up, finally try it for the first time ever, and it's a fantastic cigar.
Oh shit! Let's
So,
put it out there.
Yeah, no, that's a very, very good point.
I like. I think two guys do it. What's smoking good now? And that's a good idea because sometimes the blend can be affected by what the farms have in stock at that time, what the rollers have to use. If something happened to that shipment, sometimes things really do affect the entire process.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be smoking worse than it ever has one week, and then all of a sudden the next batch, that comes out is absolutely phenomenal because everything went perfectly right.
Well, and that is something that I want to say Brad from Zeal Cigars mentions quite often is not to ask when you go into a new brick and mortar what's new, because what's new might have just come in and needs to sit in the humidor for a couple weeks to get back where it needs to be smokable. He asked what's smoking well.
That's good.
Yeah. What are those ones that are just sitting in there that have been aging for a little bit, maybe, that are at the perfect humidity, that they're the peak of their flavor, and they're going to taste amazing when you have it.
Very true.
So what's new may not always be the best option to go with, especially if what's new just came in this afternoon off the truck, and they've been sitting in a warehouse waiting to be distributed and not humidified properly. So
yeah, could be a great cigar once it's given a little time to rest.
Right.
Could be the best cigar you've ever. It could be your very favorite, But then if it's like Frank said, like it's gone ship to ship, and then all of a sudden it's at your front door, give it a minute. Sometimes I get impatient. I won't wait. I will do that. Other than the Fretke Family Loyalty 6, do you recommend the Jerry? Yeah, damn it. The Jerry. I can't remember the color right now off the top of my head. I know it's the Jerry, though. Freaking phenomenal stuff. The whole lineup, depending on if you are okay with a little bit heavier 6, I'm not saying that it is going to be powerhouses by any means, but they're definitely not mild to medium.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at medium plus minimum. Rosewood 1923 from Black Star Line. Yeah, excellent call. Eric knows what he's doing. Tobacco's phenomenal. Gets it over from Aganorsa. Black Star Line across the board is good. Thank you for recommending such a phenomenal cigar too, Eduardo, because that is some good stuff. He does not seem to miss. I very much like what Eric's doing.
Yeah, great guy. Almost made him spit out his whiskey.
That was hilarious. And this is getting hot already. It was a very tiny guy, by the way, you guys. Again, this was like, 4 inches?
If that.
Yeah. This was a very small Fratello. Delicious Fratello, by the way. All the way down to this. Burning very well for me. How about for you, even with the...
yeah, that's fine.
Are you solving the problem, or just pinching?
It is, but I'm going to have it more now because I took off the band. The band was actually holding it closed.
Oh, no.
But as long as I hold it, I think we'll be all right.
Well, here's a question for you guys out there. A little off topic from what we're doing, but still cigar related. So, at what point do you finally stop fighting your cigar if you really like it? Like, I'm not saying like the flavor isn't good. At that point, if the flavor is so unpleasant to you, get rid of it.
Right.
Don't even worry about it. My thinking right now, or my question is more on the lines of, you really like the cigar, the flavors are really good, but the construction's giving you a headache. It's the too hard to draw. It is unraveling a little bit. The burn's ridiculous, so you have to keep retouching it, or it keeps going out on you. Which going out on you tends to not lend itself to being a good flavor.
No, because you're just burning the shit out of it.
Yeah.
So I'll answer so people can have time to answer on their own.
Please.
Honestly, if it's a draw issue, I'll put it down right away. Luckily, I haven't had any of those problems with cigars that I really like with draw issue, so that is that. If it's an issue of unraveling, if it's a cigar like this that I like, I think that I would pull out my nub tool and just kind of pierce it where it's unraveling to keep it tight. If
Put a
I'm enjoying
nail
it.
into it, basically.
Yeah. If I'm not enjoying it, then I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to put it out and grab something else.
Yeah, why bother?
I mean, I'm not going to start a cigar and it starts to unravel like when we were in Vegas that first time and keep going. I'm like, no, I'm going to put it down. I'm done with this. I'm on something else. I'm not going to waste my time fighting this cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd probably be my answer.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. And that's where the caveat really comes in, that you enjoy that cigar already, or the flavors are there. It's a construction issue that I'm talking about mainly, because babysitting a cigar tends to not lead to a very great experience. It's something that I do not like to do. I don't want to have to keep relighting or retouching or messing with the wrapper because it's coming undone, whatever it might be. It's very annoying in my opinion.
Yeah.
But if it's that good a flavor, if I really enjoy that cigar, I might put up with it a little bit more just because I'm enjoying myself in that situation, whatever it might be. Or, just because. Maybe it's a new one we're reviewing. Sometimes I'll go through any of those problems as long as I can handle it until the point like, this is not going to work out. It's not going to be a good review for them. It's not going to be good for us. It just is what it is.
Yeah. I know. I totally get that point. But as far as this cigar goes, I mean, I might have my issue with the unraveling because the Perfect Cut might have taken off too much. But like I said, I'm enjoying it, so no need to put it out.
There we go. I don't have my nub tool, so thank you so much to Sons Ray. They were giving these out at Farm to Fork, which was an event here in town. So that probably makes no sense to anybody. But I'm going to thank them anyway. If it unravels, I may bail. I will use a draw tool. They'll rarely have that happen, thank goodness. Relighting, that can get annoying. So I may bail and cough it up or chalk it up to cigar is no go. I may bail and cough. Yeah, cough it up to no. Yeah, I get that. Especially, I think relighting is my biggest one. Rarely I've ever worried about unraveling. That's usually my fault. I cut it too deep. But relighting is I just taste burnt after a while. I don't want to deal with that. If you really enjoy a cigar and it starts to unravel, I usually put my nubber in it to keep it together. Yeah, just like you. Chalk it up. Yeah, same thing. Chalk it up, cough it up. It all means the same.
Now, I will say the one thing that'll really get me to put down a cigar is stems.
Oh, I didn't talk about stems at all. That's all you right there.
For me, if I feel a stem on my lip while I'm smoking a cigar, I will dig that son of a bitch out. I will pull it out. I'll put it down next to the ashtray. And if it's just one, okay, no big deal. But there's been times where that one has been a trunk, not a stem, not a stick, but a trunk, to where they make a sound when they split.
A couple of
and
times.
What that does is it makes this huge air channel in the cigar that makes it smoke too fast and too hot and makes it very unenjoyable. And then when you're feeling two or three of those guys and you're pulling them out, you can actually look and you're like, you can start to squeeze the cigar because it's so loose now because there's so much tobacco gone.
There's a hole missing.
Yeah. That is that is probably the main reason I have put down cigars and not gone back to it. Because of the twigs, stems, whatever you want to call them, I pull them out and there's so much tobacco gone because they take up so much room. It's unsmokable.
This is gonna work. I tried. It's too big a knife for such a little guy. The other thing that I didn't even mention earlier that is absolutely a travesty, tar buildup. And I've done it where I'm like, okay, I cut too little, so there's not enough passage for the smoke to get through. That's building up the tar. I gotta fix this. I cut more, and it's still building up tar. Hell no, that's disgusting. I hate the taste. Even just a little bit on the lips, I can feel it. If I have to get a paper towel and I'm rubbing it off, and I see a tar mark, so I get right with a crayon, basically, like it's no. No, that one I completely forgot until you mentioned the stems. Now,
And to this day, I don't know what causes tar buildup. Like, I had cigars in the humidor for like a month straight. I was getting tar out of them, no matter what cigar it was. And then a month later, they smoking perfect like this one. A lot of the times, the smaller ring gauge cigars, you'll notice tar buildup on. That's another reason I don't punch cigars because it's too concentrated. I feel like you have a better chance of getting a tar buildup on a punch.
the Shurkins.
And the Shurkins, yeah. I don't. I mean, I only use a perfect draw a couple of times. I don't know how likely it is for those to get plugged with tar, but I would imagine it'd be more common than for just a straight cut or even a V cut. And
Yeah,
again, like you, I will try cutting off a bit more and a bit more and a bit more. But if it gets to where you're cutting half the cigar away, it's like, what's the point?
sooner or later, it's just there's no reason anymore. It's just this is not working out.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be for me. Yeah, Eduardo. Yeah, if it gets tar like that, I toss. Yeah, I agree with that. It's just that's the worst taste to me as far as any kind of cigar problem you can have. And the flavor is the most important thing to me. Construction wise is a big plus when they're perfect. And a lot of the time they really are. It's very rare that I get that messed up of a cigar, no matter what company it's been. They've smoked a couple of JMs with the certain gentleman here in town, and they still smoke well. It's fine, it's still a good product. It maybe not be the best quality and the best flavors, but it's fine as far as construction goes. Steven, how you doing, brother? And I'm so sorry, dude. I didn't read your part. Yeah, good point. Rare that it happens, but I will put a stem that bothers. I will pull a stem that bothers me too. Try to avoid that, but if it's like as bad as you guys are thinking, it's really hard to not pay attention.
Yeah, so sometimes I just feel it on my lip, and it's so annoying. Or I hold my cigar, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And I can see it, and if I can grab onto it and I'll pull it, it's just a no go.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna come off. Yeah. All right, this guy is 30 minutes is about where it's gonna be at. So 25 minutes.
That's fine because we're doing a short show today anyway, Judge. We're only gonna go half an hour today, so that basically lasted as long as we needed it to last.
Fratello, phenomenal though. That was very nice, and I'm glad you picked these. I don't even know how long they've been in there, but they are good. And it's not uncommon that there's a lot of really good small ring cigars like that. Check out Rojas. Not that small, obviously, but a lot of their stuff is on the smaller ring gauge side, smaller lengthwise, smaller Vitolas in general. And I think that really does concentrate those flavors very nicely. You don't have to worry about, say, the problems you might have with the Lancero as you would with something this short because you're not smoking for as long. But overheating with something this small is definitely a possibility. So just be careful.
Yeah, that's a really good point too. Yeah, Rojas definitely he's labeled himself the king of the small ring gauges, so definitely like that. If you guys haven't tried Fratello yet, pick up a couple. I think they're very good cigars. We just unfortunately no one here has them on the West Coast that I know of that's close to us. So it's rare we get a chance to try them. So thank goodness we have a few in the humidor.
Yeah.
And since I knew we were gonna do a short show today, I picked these out because I thought they were perfect size.
Good pick. Excellent pick. I don't know if there's anything this small that we would have included in the 25 lineup, but that doesn't mean that they are barred from it.
Yeah, there is.
What?
There's some this small that would have included.
What?
Two of them actually. That you could have included.
But you could. We just haven't done it yet.
Paperboy.
I would still pick the Buffalo 10 over the Paperboy. I like it a lot.
The James cigar.
It's on the market. You can't put that on there.
If I can get it.
That's unfair. That's an unfair advantage. I'm not.
For those that don't know what I'm talking about, James cigar is a cigar that he makes while he's in the Dominican Republic. It's a cigar he makes for himself, just to smoke on while he's out there. He loves this little tiny blend, and he sent us a few bricks of them, and they're fantastic little smokes.
Really are.
If you get a chance to ever talk to James and get a couple off of him, definitely do it because they're amazing little smokes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're, League of Tens or Atabay or Padrones or that, but you'll be surprised how delicious this kind of smoke is.
If we were doing an 8 and under category, I'd throw the Paperboy in there, and that's even high end for them. A little stick, yeah, exactly. Eduardo, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You got a couple of them.
Yeah, he did tell us not to give Eduardo anymore.
No more Eduardo.
No more little sticks, Eduardo.
That was part of the caveat. Get more, yeah. So unfortunate, but it's gonna have to happen. Bless you. We're gonna have to get moving in a minute. But yeah, the Paperboy is a great bundle cigar for those who are looking for those everyday smokes on a regular basis. Did I miss the John T's? Haven't? Yeah, we just talked to the guy who worked for the owner of John T's for like the longest time. I have no idea where to get anymore. I keep hearing people talk about them on a very regular basis still. So they're still sought after. If you have them,
apparently John T's had a unique pipe tobacco blend.
Yeah.
That people loved, and they would come into Cigars and More, and hey, you guys have the John T's blend, right? We have no idea what that means. So, but apparently it was really, really good.
Yeah. I wish I knew. I wish I would have been a part of the hoopla when it was here.
Richard, we're not going to make the Great Smoke, unfortunately, again, with TP and PCA being literally 6 weeks apart. There's no way we can go to that. Unfortunately for us, TP and PCA take precedence because it's where we get to see all the new stuff. And, the Great Smoke, the Big Smoke, all those ones that we're not doing the media for, unfortunately, just a financial issue, we won't be able to make them. A time frame period also we're not able to make it, so we got to prioritize the ones where we get the most information from. So unfortunately, probably will not be able to make it again this year, which sucks because I really, really want to go.
Yeah, seriously. You guys can take pictures for us. Get a photo and put me in them like that.
Yeah. Whew. Okay. With that being said, the virtual tickets. Okay.
I'll have to hop on. Yeah,
we'll have to. Yeah, forget it. That's how we made it the last couple of years. Yeah. So that'll do it for us, you guys. They got to do a half-hour show. We got some family stuff to take care of. We'll see you guys Wednesday. We may have a special guest for you guys either Wednesday or Friday, but I will post it in that morning that we know for sure on Facebook and Instagram. So make sure you check that Wednesday and Friday, guys.
All right, people. Have a good one.